Da bum ba-da-dum bum ba-bum bum ba-da-dum bum. Hello, chat. Hello. It is time for the How to Make a Cover Music Seminar. Bum ba-da-dum. Hi everyone. Hi Ver, you were here first. What's up? Thank you for the hydrate. I did that while I was in the waiting screen and the posture check and the stretch. Hello, Kaiser. You squish. Ver, why? Hi Jin, how are you? Why? Why do you want to time out Kaiser? What did Kaiser do to you? Well, I'm so confused. Oh wait, I shouted them out instead of timing them out. Wait. wait. I'm okay. I did the exact opposite. Okay. Oh, you just woke up and chose violence today, I guess. You got your notebook and you're ready to learn. Hi, Fred. Hello, Rice. Paper. Yes, we are doing a lot of learning today, chat. Okay, so today, chat, there is going to be a Q&A session later. But for now, since this is going to be mainly a lecture type of stream, I might not respond to every single comment. I'm so sorry about that. But don't worry, I'm looking. And if you happen to have a question, I will try to take it. But for now, we're going to go straight into it. Hi, Zero! How are you? Okay, let me just jump into this screen. Alright, oh my god, chat, I even have a PowerPoint and everything, okay? We got this. So, thank you for the subby, Zero, I appreciate it. Thank you. Also, chat, we are going to be, having this VOD on the YouTube, so say hi to YouTube. Hi, YouTube. This is reference for all the people that want to learn how to make a cover. And also, like, you know, you might be on a little bit of a budget like me, and so you wonder how to make cover for cheap. Or maybe you do have a little bit more of a budget sometimes and you want to spend, and you're like, how to make cover good? but don't spend too much money. Maybe do video myself, things like that. I have gotten requests for people wanting to make the music videos themselves and how I did some of the ones I made and stuff like that. So I'll teach you that. I'll also be talking about some other stuff. So let me just get started. He timed you out too. Zero, could you time out Ver for 60 seconds, please? Okay. So, how to make a cover according to Areia. Man, I'm even got like a Google Slides template for y'all. Let's go. Okay, this is the breakdown of the seminar today, okay? So first of all, we are going to discuss music, recording, and mixing. Those are like the basics of basics, or the actual nitty-gritty, right? As the PowerPoint says, I'll be talking about the general techniques that I use during these processes, and I'll also share you some of the free and paid resources I use when I'm making my own music covers. Also, there's different ways that I've trained my ears and my own voice as well, and I'm not going to give vocal lessons today, but I will share with you some YouTube vocal coaches that I think have great tips, and what they shared worked for me. I have 2 female coaches for the lady friends, and then 2 male coaches for our dude friends, and are they them friends, whatever way that works better for your voice, you just go which way. Yeah, hi Broccoli, music video hype. Yeah, we're gonna talk about PowerPoint times. Okay, so moving forward. Twitch, what happened? Nande! What happened, Zero? Scot-free. But moving forward, I guess mods can't do it. 60 seconds, yes. 안녕, Sobu. I hope you're good. Okay, next chat. We'll also be discussing making music videos, what I use when making my own music videos, and also there's 2 ways I make my music videos. I have my simple TikToks. If you've seen some of my content, I got the ones where I'm playing the ukulele and singing, and it's like a simple lyric video. And then I also have the more advanced ones. I made some of my own music videos. I made my phony music video. I also made Idol, and I also made my Night Dancer music videos. And all of those got a decent amount of watches. And yeah. So also, disclaimer, I am more confident as a vocal coach than anything, so it's probably gonna mainly focus more on singing stuff. I'm not like super confident in my music video. I'm not a video editor. I'm not audio engineer either, but I know some basic stuff to make it look like I know what I'm doing. And I'm going to share with you how to make it look like you know what you're doing. You know, fake it till you make it kind of thing. Yeah. And at the very end, we got a Q&A session. I will be taking questions from people in chat that want to ask stuff, all right? It's acting funny for you? Uh-oh, yeah, bye. So let's go ahead and jump into it, okay? Number 1, let's talk about the music aspect, picking songs and some training stuff, and also like what I like to do when I'm making some music and singing choices, all right? So, when you're picking a song that you want to sing, does the song suit you? Question mark. Okay. How do you show? So, this is something I read in a manga. Okay, it was like this makeup manga, and I forgot how it went exactly, but it was something along the lines of makeup is just supposed to be there to accentuate the features that you already have, and so I like to apply that in my music as well. Okay, now I'm not saying that you don't be adventurous or anything. What I am saying is that you need to learn to recognize the good parts of your voice and how to show that off, to market it, to show other people, hey, listen to this part of my voice because it's smashing, all right? And you're going to show people, damn right, I sound sick when I sing like this kind of thing, all right? All right? How do I not sound like a she's? I got you. We're on this. Hello, Zach. Yes, thank you. But today we're not talking about Digimon. We're talking about singing and making covers. So I will not be addressing other comments if it doesn't have to do with the topic of today, okay? Anyway, back to the topic. All right, as this says, a challenge is always nice, but it is also good to be wise. Don't forget your roots, the base. Everyone has their own voice. Everyone has their own special, unique voice. And maybe certain vocal techniques will make your voice sound better in certain genres. For example, my voice is naturally more on the softer when I sing, not when I talk. When I talk, I'm loud and grumbling. But when I'm singing, I tend to be more. I admit, like I don't like it, but I sing the softer stuff pretty decently, better than like the loud stuff, which is what I like to challenge myself and stuff. But since I'm better at the softer stuff, I gotta release songs with the softer stuff, you know, things like that. But also, another thing, it doesn't hurt to try out a new genre, right? Now, I was just talking about how, you know, I'm usually used to the softer stuff. And if I was going to go more into like something more edgy, it would usually be like a rock song. Like I sang Kurenge, I sang Ado, the Gira Gira, you know? I could do the stronger stuff if I wanted to. But an example of this, trying a new genre, I have never rapped for my life, chat. I don't know shiz about rapping, but I started listening to Takayan one time, and I was like, oh, damn. He sounds so cool rapping in Japanese. I want to do that, but how? And so what you got to do is, if you want to try a new genre, is research. You love Takayan, me too. His his music is so good. So I just delved into it. When I was doing that cover of Cheating is a Crime, I had to like break everything down. I was so uncomfortable with speaking words super fast like he did. Speaking and like a singing kind of like rhythmic thing, you know? I had to practice and break down the elements for like rapping. Rapping, it's speaking, but in rhythm, you know? Rhythm and poetry. That's what rap stands for. And so I had to learn how to make it sound like I was speaking, but in a musical way. Things like that. And I had to like get that understanding, right? So yeah, it's okay to try out a new genre you're not comfortable with, but make sure you research other artists out there that are known for that genre, and you take notes of why is what they're doing sounding so cool and interesting. And things I wrote down for like Takayan, for example, was like, he makes his rapping super percussive. It doesn't sound monotone. He changes things up a bit. He changes where the accents are in some of his things. Sometimes he slows down, and sometimes he speeds up. Sometimes it's louder, sometimes it's softer, sometimes it's higher, it's lower. Things like that. Taking notes. It's important to research. Me rapping in Japanese was learning Tokyo Drift. Ayo. Okay, what if I want to do a digi-rap cover? Then do the digi-rap cover, because you'll do great in it. You just got to research and see how you can execute it well, right? But also, remember another thing. You aren't that artist you're researching. You have your own unique voice. So another challenge is, how do I make this person's song suit me? How do I put my own expression into this genre that I'm challenging? And for me, I'm going to keep talking about the Takayan cover for this because that was a genre I never tried before. For me, it was learning to tell the story, okay? And that is something I'm going to be emphasizing a lot. Music is all about telling stories. You gotta know what you're saying, unless you're doing like an acapella shiz or something like a Genshin Impact thing, or you're doing the Velvet Room song in Persona. But even then, something without words, you're still telling a story. But how are you gonna do it? And that's what we're gonna explore more. Speaking in cursive, things like that. Yeah, how do people speak in cursive? How do people sing in cursive? Things like that. Next. Oh, look, my storytelling things. What story am I telling with this song? What story do I want to tell, you know? You have to consider all these different things. I realize my big head is in the way of the last point. Let me move myself a bit. I'm going to float like Jesus for a second. Okay. When you're telling a story, like, it's not just that one song also. Maybe you want to tell a story with all the colors that you've done. For me, I like to make sure that I'm releasing a variety of genres when I'm doing covers, like my serious covers, not the ukulele covers. Like, for example, the first cover I came out with was Mixed Nuts, and that's a pretty happy song. And then the next cover I came out with, I believe it was Gurenge, and that's a very contrasting song from the first one. So what kind of story are you telling? The story I wanted to tell people was that I can do several genres confidently and stuff. But maybe you're very different. Maybe you're more into the comfy vibe, and that's okay. But like maybe your branding is like how I make comfy-fy every single song out there, even like the freaking rock songs. I could comfy-fy that. There's artists like that out there as well. For example, what's his name? Shane Orok, if some of you guys recognize that name, he got like really famous on TikTok, but he like comfy-fies everything and his music was like super good. So that could be your own branding. Your own branding is special and unique to you and your own voice, right? Maybe you want to change your branding and that's okay, but you got to research and all that stuff. How are you, once again, how are you going to tell the story that you want to tell? And what means necessary are you going to use to do that? And I will share with you some of my tips and techniques and vocal techniques I use to do the storytelling parts, okay? Now, as much as like picking the genres of several different songs is important for storytelling, we also need to narrow it down to a singular song. What story are you telling with a singular song? And my big tool I like to use when I'm telling a story in a singular song is doing things different techniques with my voice. And I'll share with you some and suggest some for you guys that you can apply to your own singing to make your covers more interesting, more vibrant, more to make it where like people can't stop listening to it kind of thing. All right, blasphemy. Okay, next. Okay, it's all the way down there, but it says following trends. Okay, sometimes, you know, like you might be this kind of person. I'm this kind of person a bit myself. I don't really like to follow trends, but you know, it's necessary at times. Like when you need to get yourself out there. Like for example, when Idol blew up because of Oshinoko, like sometimes you gotta hop on that bandwagon to get yourself out there. And that's not a bad thing, you know, but when you're putting yourself and following trends, make sure that you research and see like, oh, what kind of cover like version did they do? Like, how do I make myself like stick out of the crowd and stuff like that, you know, and all that. It helps bring you new viewers. Algorithm-wise, because of things that tend to be trending will bring you new people. Sometimes you might not like the song that's trending, but, you know, it's necessary at times. Unfortunately, a big part of music is you gotta get yourself out there. Because a lot of us are independents, right? So how do you get yourself out there? By following the trends. Hello, Badus. Hope you're doing good. Okay, so moving forward. Voice training. Okay, so I don't, if you know my content, my musical content, I've done a decent variety of genres. I sing J-rock like Gurenge. I've done Ado. I've done what else have I done? I've done Idol. Like a lot of my stuff is in Japanese, of course, but like I've sung some stuff in Korean, like on my ukulele TikToks and whatever and whatnot. And so you're gonna observe that like I have a pretty like decent range of genres I can do. And the reason I have a really big range of genres I can do and attempt is because I have a decent awareness of some voice training. Thank you, Badus, for the subbies. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, when I first started my voice training journey, I was a freaking noob, okay? I could barely go when I would sing. I could barely go, like, I couldn't even go high. Like, my voice would crack, like, Like, I would, like, my voice would crack so much. But, like, I got so determined that I was like, I'm gonna research, I'm gonna train, and now I can do all these different types of things. And these are some excellent resources I found after digging through all the other resources that were kind of confused me. Okay, these are some YouTube resources. So the first two on the top are two lady coaches. One, her name is Tara Simon. She is a great vocal coach on YouTube. She does a lot of reaction videos that some of you guys might have seen. She's been on The Voice and stuff and whatnot. She has great tips for like basic vocal technique. Now, if you want to go a little more advanced, Rosette here has a lot of advanced singing techniques, and it's pretty nice to study and observe. Now, Mr. Chris Leop here. He is a rock singer, and he is who I got a pretty good gist of mixed voice singing and also rock like belting from. He taught me how to go like if you heard like my Gira Gira voice, like the one example, like yeah, like he taught me how to belt like that without like hurting myself. And also, last of all, Studio West, this guy also taught me how to do some more mixed voice stuff. And mixed voice is what personally eluded me and left me confused. And so you're going to find that mixed voice training will help you learn to like belt those high notes that you've always wanted to belt. And also to do like those powerful covers that you've always wanted to do. Like maybe you wanted to sing Gunanga and be like, Tsuyoku! Like, yeah, all that stuff. Your voice, you're a baritone, hey, doesn't matter what your vocal range is. If you got the proper vocal technique and the good musical understanding of what keys are good to sing for you, you can do a song cover. For real, for real. All right, so chat, I hope you're noting down these vocal coaches because they have some great videos and content you can look through to help you with your own basic vocal technique training. If you don't have good vocal technique and you attempt to do a really hard song, you're not going to be able to do it. So make sure that you study your vocal technique and get your training. And also, it doesn't happen in one day. It's a freaking process. Make sure that when you research these people and start doing their vocal exercises they give you, you do them every day. An athlete doesn't become an Olympian in one day. It takes time. It's a process, and that's okay. There is no rush. Make sure you do that. You try to learn everything you can, Areia. Good. Make sure you do. Facts, facts, facts. All right? It can be pretty frustrating. Also, another tip that's not on the PowerPoint. You might be tempted to compare yourself with those artists around you that you see, that you admire, and be like, how can I be like them? I feel so like incompetent. And then you start getting anxiety and sad about yourself. Well, it's not good to compare yourself. They didn't become that kind of singer in one day unless you're freaking Tori Kelly or something. But no, even Tori Kelly gets vocal training, okay? So make sure you remember that everyone's journey is unique to themselves. So don't get down on yourself. You're doing great. The only time you get down on yourself is when you eventually give up. The only people that lose are going to be the ones who give up in the end. Don't give up on your dreams. Next. Or your singing journey. Okay. General singing tech I use in my own covers, okay? There's a pretty extensive list. What I'm gonna have in this list is a lot of decoration stuff I like to do and techniques I use and how I do my storytelling, okay? Oh, that's a big list. Okay, number 1, I love me some belting, okay? You probably noticed that I do a lot of belting in a lot of my covers, and the things I study to be able to belt were those vocal coaches that I shared earlier. Make sure you study mixed voice singing and belting. There's a difference between like mixed voice belting and like the rock belting that we kind of talk about. It's a whole thing, but they go into more detail and they explain things a lot better than I do. Okay, one thing I can talk about though is vocal fry. Now, vocal fry is this thing that it's like when you talk like an emo person. Okay, now singing like this the whole time is not gonna be what you want to do, right? But if you add vocal fry to some parts of your singing, then it's gonna make some things interesting. For example, what's the song that I use vocal fry on? Like, like if I did like a and do like a little vocal fry at the end, it kind of gives like an interesting ending or something. Or going a vocal fry into a phrase. I don't wanna, or something like that. The vocal fry adds an element of interest, right? It adds something different than singing just like everything flat. Another vocal technique I like to use to make things more interesting is a growl. And a growl is when you know, a growl. Like in my Gira Gira cover, I went Kagaya Kira Kira. There you go. Like the Kira Kira Kagayaite Watashi wa yoru de Watashi. And I do belting there too. But the growl will help you tell a different story too. In Gira Gira, you're talking about how like you're frustrated about how like, why did God make me look this way kind of thing. So you use that growl to show that you're frustrated, you know? What emotions am I trying to convey, you know? What do people naturally do with their voices when they're frustrated, you know? They growl. God damn it! Like things like that. Also, rawr, yeah. What about cutting an onion to force a cry voice? Crying! That's actually a huge vocal technique you'll find explained in a lot of the vocal coach videos. This part of your voice is where you're gonna find the yeah! That's where you're gonna find where you can belt! Yeah! It's this voice that's gonna help you for belting. Things like that. Another thing, I know there's a creator out there that's known for like, I tried singing this cover while crying, and they do such a great job of expressing the sadness by literally crying during a song, and that could be your thing too. Maybe you try that in a song. Go for it. If it makes your cover more interesting, if it's the way you want your story to be told, go for it, you know? Another thing, if you want to tell a sad story, like a gentle part, airiness. This is something that not a lot of people have trouble with, but it's where you use it, okay? Where are you going to place it in the song? All right, let me, for example, in one of my ukulele covers, since the ukulele is a much more gentle instrument, I like to use a lot more airiness in parts. There's parts that I could definitely belt out, like for like the overdose, overdose, kimi to futari, na 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 na. Like I could just sing that normally, but in the cover I went overdose, kimi to futari, na 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 na. Like I went airy each time I went high, and maybe that's the kind of story you wanted to tell, you know? Thinking of like different places you can place different techniques like these to make a different type of story to tell than like the original. Maybe you want to try something that's like more your style that you could apply, and things like that. Okay, the next point is dynamic variation. Now, what the hell is dynamic variation for all the music people that do, maybe people that don't know what that is? Dynamics is basically how loud or soft you are. Now, dynamic variation is an excellent technique for telling this story. So typically, you know, have you guys like, you know, in high school and they talk about like, oh, what does like the plot of a book looks like? And then it has like a little mountain, and like the first is like the, what was it, like the beginning, was it the exposition or whatever? And then there's like the rising climax thing, and then there's the climax, and then the falling exposition, and it looks like a mountain. That's basically what a song is, right? It starts off softer. You don't want the energy to be too much in the beginning, and then it goes super strong in like the chorus, and then it mellows back down in like a verse. What about cutting an? Oh, whoops, sorry. I thought that was a new comment. I am blind. Okay. Anyway, things like that. So when we're doing the MV analytical breakdown, I will explain this a bit more. But one thing I could explain really quick, there's this thing also when you're singing, there's something called phrases, and it's basically like the sections you're singing in. So for example, in the in phony, I go この世でそうかより綺麗な花はないわ. In that phrase, I started like medium, but then suddenly I got soft. And like the この世でそうかよりthe key part suddenly got soft. ないな花はないわ. And then I got loud again. So it's called swelling. Sometimes you start your phrases soft, and then you get louder, and then suddenly gets soft again. And that just makes the song, or like that one sentence you're singing, sound so much more interesting, right? That especially goes for like ballad songs. Like, what's that Violet Evergarden song I sing all the time? By True. Sincerely by True. How did it go? Wait, let me look it up really quick. It's like my go-to song. Sincerely True. Here it is. Shiranai kotoba o. So I go, Shiranai kotoba o. I went like soft to loud, soft to loud, soft to loud. Messing with your dynamic phrasing, that can also change the storytelling. And then in the chorus it goes da 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 na 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 na. It's like in the chorus you climax with the loudness, and then it goes back to da na 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 na, things like that. It just me changing the dynamics makes it so much more interesting to listen to, right? So make sure you keep that in mind. That's a huge thing that will make your covers so much more interesting. Good song. It's a great song. And also, like, in that song, it's such a sad song, so crying during it. Like, even just like tears coming in your eyes, that's okay, because it'll help you sing better, things like that. But if it's like a angry song, like, oh my god, maybe not angry, but like loud, like the like, just being, but you're still loud, but then suddenly you go, ah! And I just go, I growl and belt at the same time to make that more interesting. Considering all those things, a big thing is the dynamic variation. Okay, but we're gonna move on to the next point. Hopefully that's helpful. Was it from Violet Evergarden? Yes, that was from Violet Evergarden. Sincerely by True. Okay, next point. Harmony. Harmony is one of the things that I would say is a big part of my own music cover branding. Typically for your harmony, you're going to have like a higher and a lower harmony that decorates the melody. If you don't know too much about harmony, I recommend picking up an instrument. Even like the piano, just to learn like the basics of what a chord is. Your do, mi, so. If your melody's on mi, your harmony's on so, and then your other harmony's on do. And then your harmony's typically gonna follow the shape of your melody and stuff like that. And another cool thing I like to do to make my harmony sound even more cooler is that I like to pan them. Now you're like, what the fudge is panning, Areia? Well, I'll explain that later when we get to the mixing part. But for now, harmony is such a good technique to use. Now, don't use it too much. I don't recommend using it too much unless you're freaking doing an a cappella song. Like I did that cover of, what's it called? From the Near, that Near song. I harmonized the whole time. But like in a lot of my other songs, I typically only harmonize in like the pre-choruses, or I do like one harmony in the pre-chorus and then I do like 2 or 3 harmonies in the actual chorus, because that harmony is going to help make your chorus sound fuller and give it a more like wider spread is the best way I can describe it audio wise. But in like not audio wise, it will make it sound like a choir, and having like a, you know, like those songs like the choirs in the background sounds super epic. And you're going to notice in like the pop songs that you listen to, or the rock or ballad songs, you're gonna notice, hey, wait, there's not just the melody, there's someone else singing another tune, but it's a harmony, and you're gonna be like, whoa! Yeah, harmony is a great thing. If you don't know how to harmonize, pick up an instrument. I promise you that picking up an instrument is gonna help you find harmony so much easier. Also, if you are into the audio engineering thing and you want to learn how to harmonize, well, there's this thing called tuning your vocals, and then that forces you to like figure out the harmony yourself. And I'm going to show you a little video later Harmony. Yes, yes, yes. But let's move the heck on, okay? These are some typical singing techniques. Okay. Remember, you are telling a story, okay? All these techniques are used to make a story. Now, you're not gonna be vocal, like growling the whole song and like don't abuse the heck out of these things, but using them sparingly in the most appropriate parts of the storytelling, it's gonna make your cover sound so much better. Okay? Next. And I think this will make a lot more sense when I have the actual MV up and I break down what I did in the MV. Now, ear training. Okay, a big thing, I'm gonna move myself out of the way. A big thing I use for ear training is when I'm mixing my own covers and tuning my own vocals, okay? Now, this is a paid program. It's called Logic Pro X. It comes with, it's only for Mac users, and I mix on my Mac. But if you are looking for a program that's similar to this, I know that Waves has one, a vocal tuning program. There's also Auto-Tune, but honestly, Auto-Tune does all the work for you. And sometimes it won't tune to the right note and things like that. And it's like analyze, okay. So if you want to tune it yourself, I recommend looking for like a tuning program similar to this. Now, I'm going to show you what this tuning program does, okay? I recorded a little demonstration. I didn't know how to screen record with audio on my Mac, so I filmed it with my phone. So it's a little scuff, but it's okay. Also, to people watching the VOD, you're not gonna hear the audio for this, I just realized, because it's gonna be muted on Twitch so I don't get copyrighted striked. So if you want access to this PowerPoint, I'm going to drop the PowerPoint link in my video description for everyone to reference and use, okay? So let's watch the video and I'll show you the tuning process I go through, and this is what helped me with my own ear training. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna pause for a second. You notice that after I untuned the parts, that some of the bars are like a little below the highlighted or above the highlighted little bar, and that's showing you how far off you are from like a pitch, a registered pitch. And that's what makes it so cool. You can physically see how off pitch you are. So you can see, like in the top right, for example. Whoops, that's not it. Wait. Where's my little Areia? Like, if you look over here, you're gonna see that I'm a little bit flat, I think. No, I'm a little no, yeah, I'm flat. I'm a little below the pitch that I need to be singing. Also, if you notice, there's also these like little white lines in the middle of the bars, and those white lights, the lines indicate where your pitch is going. And also, there's a cool thing in the tuning programs that lets you control the vibrato in your voice. And vibrato, if you don't know what that is, it's the like when your voice sounds like it's shaking when you're singing. That little shaking spot, the thing. If I don't use vibrato, versus vibrato. The little aggressive shaking sound. You can flatten out your vibrato in these programs too. And actually flattening out your vibrato does like wonders. Like when I'm tuning my harmonies, I like to make my harmonies flat and straighten out the vibrato because it makes the harmony sound so much more cleaner. Skype in this day and age, it's because I have to use Skype for when I'm working in my dad's agency and helping him out with some of his jobs. Some of the clients still use Skype and stuff because there's a lot of older people in the industry. I even had to use a program called like Blue Jeans. I don't know who uses that, but they use it. It was an interesting thing. Copyrighted, yeah. What is left from Skype? Fire alpaca, yeah. My drawing app on my Mac that I could use when I'm like quickly editing something. Thank you for the hydrate. Hi, Pally. Okay, so let me play the video again though. But also you're gonna notice that there is a little keyboard right here. It's showing you which pitches you're singing. It's so cool. And then you see the little waveform in the background of how loud you're singing. You can also control like individually. Like I could like, you see this little bar Areia is pointing to. I could make that waveform smaller so that specific note I sing is quieter. It's really cool. I recommend messing with tuning programs like this. Even if you're not an audio person, it's just fun to experience. You can move around pitches. Ooh. See, intertesting, is it not? To see how you could physically control the pitch of your voice. I like how the more you mess with it, the more it sounds like automaton. Yeah, it's really funny how it sounds automaton-y. The program format usually reminds me of a Vocaloid or a Tele. Yeah, a lot of the vocal programs that you'll see, like Vocaloid and stuff, all the sound softwares, the DAWs that they're using. What does DAW stand for again? Digital audio something, I forget. Whatever. DAWs are like the sound programs you use to like mix, and they're gonna have similar programming. Yes. Name of this program is, this one, Kiki, is specifically only for people who are on the Mac and have Logic Pro X. If you want to make an investment and you have a Mac and you want to mix with this, a lot of people use this program if you have a Mac. It is called Logic Pro X. Flex Pitch is this specific program, and it comes with Logic Pro. If you want to know how to use it, there's a lot of great YouTube tutorials. That's where I learned how to use it and found out about it. I recommend looking that up. If you don't have a Mac, I know that there's a program similar to this available on Waves, and Waves has a lot of cheap programs because Waves is a little outdated, but it still has great things that you could use. And if you want other resources that are similar, just look up some vocal tuning programs and they should have something similar to this. Yeah, sweet, yeah. If you want other recommended DAWs that aren't available, that are available outside of Mac, some great ones I hear from my friends that I went to music university with. I know my friend Kenta uses Ableton, I think, and I know my friend Yuto uses FL Studio. Some people swear by Reaper. And then if you're trying to go industry standard, there's Pro Tools, but Pro Tools is really scuffed. And there's other programs that work and function a lot better and are simpler to navigate than Pro Tools. So yeah, but if you want to know what this one is specifically, it's Logic Pro X. Yes. And that's our sponsor for today, guys. Yes. Okay, but let's move on. Yes, tuning programs will be great for training your ears. And then the more you tune your own vocals, the more you're gonna hear the errors in your voice, and you're gonna be like, wow, I suck. And then you're like, wow, I'm so glad that vocal tuning programs are available. Also, a cool thing with these vocal tuning programs is that you can adjust the rhythm of what you sing too. So pretend we sing Idol again, na 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 na, and I sing it off rhythm, like na 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 na. That's completely off rhythm, but I could also mess with where I sing my notes and fix the rhythms individually. So if I moved and nudged this a little bit, it would go a little bit later, and if I moved it a little forward, it would move up the pitch forward. Things like that. It's really cool. So also being rhythmically aware is cool too. But moving forward, enough. Okay, let's talk about the recording process itself, okay? Let me move myself over here. Hello, little Areia. Okay, tips and tricks. Recording tips. The best recording mics to use are typically condenser microphones. Now, condenser microphones need an interface to be plugged in typically, and they're going to be powered by electricity, which is what make condenser microphones unique, apart from the dynamic microphones that don't use electricity. Now, I'm kind of nerding out on you. So basically, just remember, condenser mics are what you want to record with. The mic I'm using right now is a dynamic microphone, and I don't need to plug it into... Well, actually, I think it functions as both. It's a short one. But right now, I'm using it as a dynamic because I have it directly plugged into my PC rather than through an interface. But having an interface is great because the interface can help you control your mic's gain. What the heck is gain, Miss Aria? Well, okay. Oh, I'm glad you asked. Well, gain is basically the volume of your mic. Now, if this is going to be an issue... especially for belty songs. If I wanted to sing like Gurenge, and I wanted to sing like the Kesenai, and I'm like super like, yeah! If my mic's gain is too high and I record that, your mic is gonna do something called peaking. And that's when your mic, like your recording sounds like it's cracking. And then yeah, sounds like in the recording. And you're like, whoa, why does it sound like that? That's because your gain on your mic is too high. So when you're doing belty parts, make sure that you turn the gain down super quiet. But then you might have the opposite problem where you're singing super soft, super shy, and you want to raise up the gain so that your mic picks up more sound, right? So note down the gain stuff. Also, the distance from which you typically want to record from your mic is if you make the shaka sign. You guys know what the shaka sign is? Your thumb is out and your pinky is out. The distance from your thumb to your pinky is around the distance of where you want to record from with your mic. So right now, I'm like a shaka sign distance from my mic physically. Let me see. Wait, let me show. Shaka sign. Yeah, that thing. You want to have that distance from your mic. Okay? Okay. I know in the voiceover voice actor, they have like a diagram that shows it. Oh, it doesn't show. Okay. But just know. You want to have about like a spread out hands distance from your mic when you record. Huh? Next. Oh, we talked about the gain. Mess with the volume of microphone so you don't peak. Or you need to be louder in some sections. Yes. Okay, treated space. Okay, so when you are recording, typically you want to be in a space that's not too echoey or has too much reverb, okay? Now, if you don't really have like a booth or anything, don't worry. I used to record in my closet. Now, your clothing can absorb like sound and make your recording sound a lot more flat. Typically, it's like cloth and stuff that helps sound not bounce around anywhere instead of the sound, because sound like bounces off of like the hard surfaces. I'm going nerd on you. But if you have clothes, it doesn't really bounce off of the clothes. The clothes like absorb the sound and whatnot. And that's why if you go into like a recording booth, you're gonna notice like the walls have like those like panels that are made of cloth, or like the walls themselves look like they're carpet, things like that. It's so to make the sound flat, because when you are mixing your vocals in the end, your mixing is going to do the job of making it sound a little more echoey. And if you already have the echoey sound in the beginning, maybe that's not what you want for the song, things like that. So typically having like that bare sound that's not echoey is really nice. So make sure you treat your space for a good song, okay? Treat your space. If you want some places to look for like sound foam panels you can put on your wall, Amazon is great. On my own wall, I have some sound stickers. They have like stickers behind like sound panels, and you could just like peel it off the sticker and then like stick it on your wall, and it looks pretty aesthetically pleasing. Like I look like I have a blue beehive in my room right now. I could send a photo later, but it's really nice. And it really helps. Yes. So treat your space, everyone. Okay, next. When you're recording, especially a challenging song, don't be afraid to record in sections. You don't need to record the whole song at once. I know there's some people that do that, and great if they can do that, but I I, for one, am a perfectionist. And I like to break down my songs to make sure that I'm getting every little nitty-gritty detail. That's definitely what I did for Idol. Like in the ear training video I showed you, that was like a section of one section I recorded. And it's okay to record in sections, okay? One more time. It's okay to record in sections, okay? Because if you do one full take, you're gonna have to go through the whole take, and then you're gonna have to like listen for everything, and just takes up time and all that stuff, okay? So just I recommend saving time by recording in sections. And doing multiple takes to like compare of that one section. Like maybe I do one take of like the tsuyoku nareru, and then my next take I go tsuyoku nareru, and then I have these two different takes. One I growled, one I didn't, and then I listen like which one did I like better? I'll keep this one, and it just saves so much more time. Things like that. All right. Yes. Moving forward though. Okay, let's move on to the mixing portion. Disclaimer! I am not an audio engineer. I only know the basics of basics, but fake it till you make it, right? I've mixed several of my own covers, like my Idol cover and my Phony cover and stuff, and like not all of them. You're gonna notice like there's like a little like inconsistency in such and pods, but like if you listen to the songs individually, they sound fine for the most part. But I can teach you the basics of what I use and what you can use in your own mixing, all right? Okay, my mix process, okay? So in my process for mixing, these are typically the steps that I use when I am doing a mixing process. Number one, tuning, okay? When you are tuning your vocals, that program I use, I always tune my vocals first. All right, make sure that I'm singing the right notes, because sometimes you're gonna notice like, oh, I didn't catch that I sang the wrong note there. I'm gonna fix that, blah, 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 blah. Next, I fix the timing, making sure I'm singing everything on rhythm so it matches the instrumental I'm singing. Okay, number 3, compression. What is compression, Areia sensei? Well, compression is going to help you do what your voice cannot, and it's gonna quiet down the parts that go a little too loud without you having to go like into like super detail and like going individually into like each note that you sang too loud and like quieting it down. It'll automatically lower down the volume of things that are too loud, and I believe it also helps boost the things that are too quiet, I believe. Yes. So compression is big. Sometimes I even do double compression because it's nice. Now, EQ. What's EQ, Areia sensei? Well, you don't need to worry too much about it if you're not really an audio person. Just know that it brings out the best parts of your voice and takes out the worst parts of your voice. And luckily, there are presets in a lot of these programs you're gonna find. And I personally like to just use presets. I tried to EQ my own voice. It's too much work. If you have an audio engineer friend that can give you some tips of how to EQ your voice, you can go talk to them and stuff. But if you are on a budget and you just want to mix it yourself, EQing presets will be your best friends. Typically, you'll see things like soprano, natural voice, or not soprano, sorry, female natural voice, male natural voice, or something like that. And you just click on the one that you think matches you and just leave it at that. Noise suppression. So this is like if you can't get that treated space, or if you have like a little humming of your laptop in the background, there's great programs called like Isotope, and I believe they are on sale right now, but they can take out like that background noise. They can even take out like those little mouth clicks, those like the annoying little mouth like sounds that you make when you talk sometimes that you might not be aware of until like you record yourself and you're like, wait, my mouth makes those disgusting noises. Isotope does a great job of taking those out. You could do things like de-hum, de-s, de-click. Yeah! Oh my god! Hello, Dark Citrus! Hello. Welcome, Raiders! Welcome. I'm RAVT. I'm a singer from another world. Hello, Bunny Nixie. We are talking about how to make covers today. I know you were playing Baldur's Gate. How was your Baldur's Gate? I hope it was good. we are in the audio portion of our cover seminar today. But thank you so much for the raid again. It was good. I've come for the sem. Okay, perfect, raiders. Well, I'm gonna just jump right back into it. I've been just chat. You guys have probably been like, whoa, she's information dumping a lot of stuff on me right now. Don't worry. This VOD is gonna be on the YouTubes once again, so that you can like pause, take note, process everything, and all that stuff. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna keep going. But thank you again for the raid, Darth. You'll be downloading this VOD. Yeah. Go for it. Okay. So de-humming will take out that like laptop noise in the background that you don't like. De-essing. Now, you're gonna notice that when you're recording, sometimes you have like if I'm saying like Tsuyoku, the tss is like really, really loud. What a de-esser does is that it will analyze the frequency in what you sing and will take out the tss frequency and make it a lot softer. So instead of a Tsuyoku, it'll be like a Tsuyoku nareru instead. It's really, really handy thing. What a de-clicker does is it takes out those annoying little like those like little spit bubble sounds in your mouth. I don't know how else to explain it. It's usually caused by your spit in your mouth, like moving around when you talk. And it's usually just picked up with your mics, especially the condenser mics, because condenser mics pick up everything. So it'll take those clicks out. Yeah. And if you want a good program that will help you with that, I like to use Isotope, as it says in the PowerPoint. Okay, moving forward. Reverb. Reverb is what's gonna make it sound a little more like you're in a room, and a little more echoey. It's not like there's an actual echo. The actual echo would be called a delay, but you don't need to worry about that. The basics of basics is the reverb, and so what makes it sound like a little, like when you're at a karaoke and the mic sounds super like echoey. That's reverb. The reverb is going to bring out and make the sound more wet and a little less dry. That's the best way I can explain it, chat, okay? Like if you open up a reverb program, you're gonna see like, do I want to make it more wet or dry? Yabai. But it's literally how it's described. Make it moist. You know, oh, I can show you an example. Okay, I'm gonna put reverb on my mic for you guys right now, okay? See, it sounds a little more yeah. And then once I turn it off, I sound a lot more dry, right? Not the 100% wet Narsky, please. No, I want to be drenched. No, too much reverb is never good. No. But reverb will make your voice like pop, and it'll sound better. Yes. Oh shoot, you can hear the music I'm listening on Spotify. Okay, well that's fine. It's just doxing me using Spotify right now. Okay. Anyway, next, chorus. Okay, chorus is like, it's just like something extra I like to do, but like, you know when you hear like, you're hearing me talk and it kind of sounds like I'm like right in front of you? What chorus will do, I believe, it like spreads out your voice and makes it sound a little more like surround-ish kind of. It's hard to explain, but I like to add a little bit of that to my vocals to make it like more like you're surrounded by Areia. And I'm just not right in front of you. Yeah, Bunny Nixie, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to Areia Army. Hello. Thank you. Okay, next, panning. So panning is basically when you're recording with your mic, you can control if it comes more out of your left ear or more out of the right ear. And what I like to do for panning is that typically I pan my harmonies. So I make my lower harmony pan more to the left, and then my higher harmony, I pan more to the right ear. And it'll kind of sound like you're surrounded by Areia once again. You can't escape me. Well, that's what I like to do. And then my melody, I don't pan it because it's like right in the middle. So it's like there's a middle Areia singing, and then a left Areia singing, and a right Areia singing. But the right and left Areia are singing a little quieter than the middle Areia. And that panning makes it sound like there's like a choir, and it sounds a little more like there's like more than one voice rather than all of them just being on top of each other. It makes it like 3 distinct voices is what I like to do for my harmonies, my mixing process. Okay, and so we're gonna move forward now. That's all the tips I can give really for the musical and audio aspect right now. If you have more questions in regards to the music and the audio aspect, I'll answer them at the Q&A corner a little bit later, okay? But for now, let's move on. We're gonna talk about music videos. Ha ha ha. Okay, disclaimer. I am not a video editor. I am not a video editor. No, no, no. I'm like faking it till I make it, okay? I just look at other people's videos and copy what they do. But not like, of course, like I'm not plagiarizing. But like I take their techniques for myself. And same thing with singing, you know, like, oh, I heard Lisa growl in that part. I'm gonna growl like a similar part in way too if I want. Surrounded by Areia. Yeah. And I'll show you that, like, I did something like that for Night Dancer. I, like, looked at a bunch of different music videos for Night Dancer, and I was like, ooh, I like the vibes you're giving off. How can I, like, do something sort of similar with my own thing, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm not telling you to plagiarize. Don't plagiarize. That's bad. So all the plagiarizers out there, shame on you. Don't do that. That's messed up. It's disregarding people's hard work. But it's okay to like reference other people's techniques and other people's stuff for inspiration, right? Just don't go copying it word for word. You know, don't want to be expelled from school kind of plagiarizing. Okay, so let me first break down my simple TikToks. You might have seen my simple TikToks where I do like the ukulele and it looks like I'm like super like in the in a cool room with like a cool filter with my VTuber model. Well, what I use to do that, if you don't know what that program is, it's called Shoost, okay? And there's a bunch of tutorials online for how to use Shoost, but these are the typical settings I like to use to make it visually appealing, all right? Number 1, I pick out a background that's suitable for the video. And I like to pick backgrounds that are dynamic, meaning that they're moving backgrounds, and I just put them on a loop so that it keeps playing the same thing over and over. Like, for example, I had like one with like a cyberpunk bedroom, all right? And I put that on a loop. The settings I use in Shoost, I put diffusion. It's what gives me that cool filter. I blur the background hell a lot so that the focus is on me, on my VTuber model. And then I have like a slight camera shake, all right? So let me show you an example from one of my own covers. Like this one. Let me pause this. In Overdose. I had a rainy background, but I made it hella blurred, so you can't recognize what's going on in the background really, but you're gonna see like the camera's shaking a bit, and I have like a filter. My model doesn't typically look like that when I'm streaming. Oh yeah, this is one where I use the cyberpunk bedroom. You kind of recognize the bedroom in the background, but I blurred it enough so that the focus is on me. Because you're the star of your show, honeys! Make sure you emphasize that. Show off your beautiful VTuber models that your mamas and papas worked so hard to make for you. Okay? Okay, honey? And then I got simple lyrics in the top, and just to make it so that people have things to read and they don't just have to listen, but they have something interesting to watch too. What if I don't have a VTuber model? Well, Daz, good question. There are free to use VTuber models. Whee! There are so many good free to use VTuber models out there. For example, the Omori based one. I don't know if I could just look for it. Omori VTuber model free. This! Look at that! This is free to use and you could customize it. Oh shiz! You can customize it yourself. Whoa! For free! Sam, you can become a VTuber for free! Isn't that freaking cool? Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Those are the like examples of my simple TikToks. I was talking about how I just prefer to do covers as a non-VTuber. Oh, okay. Well, I could show you something for that too. For free. Because I do have MVs where I don't have a VTuber model. Hachi, thank you so much for the subbies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're doing well. I'm Areia Sensei today, so I'm not talking to chat too much. But thank you for the subbies. I appreciate them. Okay, the more advanced music videos. Now we're going to discuss that. Okay. Thank you for the mustache. Let me drink some water. Did you guys hear that gulp? That was loud. And my water bottle made a funky sound. Okay. These are things I love to keep in mind when I am doing my advanced music videos. Number one, I look at other people's MVs for inspiration. So like for Idol, I reference some other people's Idol music videos for inspiration. I was looking at what kind of story were they telling and how can I do something similar since we're all singing the same song. Also, I looked at like original MVs. Like for Phony, I basically just followed the Phony MV, except I just put art of myself in there. Things like that. Remember, you're telling a story, and telling a story using pictures is very important, okay? So getting, it might cost you a little penny or two. Or maybe if you're a drawer or artist, you can draw your own art. But having different types of art in your MV makes things a lot more interesting. 3, try to keep things dynamic and never have the same thing on the screen for more than, oh, that cut out. For more than 5 seconds. Yes. This is my biggest tip, okay? Tip number 3. If you have the same thing on the screen for like 5 seconds, people are gonna be bored. You gotta make sure it's dynamic as possible, all right? Whether it's the lyrics of the words changing, whether it's changing the whole background or scenery completely, just make sure things are always moving and changing at times. Of course, there's like, you need to be static at times so they can see what's going on. And I'll give you an example of that. But just make sure things are always moving, that the pace is flowing, and that nothing is like awkward and just like watching like a still picture. Like, of course, that's okay. But a lot of the MVs you see that out there that are more popular tend to be the ones that have like moving stuff all the time, right? Editing and motion graphics, I know that's the death of me. I'll share with you the program I use, but I know a lot of people use Adobe. I personally use Filmora, Filmora X, and that is what I use to edit my Idol MV and my Night Dancer MV, and those two did very well. Yeah, I know my Cheating is a Crime one popped off, but my friend Mango edited that one for me on Adobe, I believe. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Another tip when you're making your music videos is transitions are important. Don't just cut from one scene to another with without any cool transitions, like using fades, using animated transitions that might be available to you in the libraries. Those will be helpful for making things, moving the story, keeping it going, making it people excited for the next thing. Ooh, if you put like a happy transition where it's like butterflies like going across the screen and it's like, oh, that implies that maybe something cool like pretty is gonna happen next. Or if you put like a glitch, TV glitch, that's gonna imply something, oh, something serious is gonna happen next. Things like that. How are you gonna tell your story with the pictures? Keep those in mind. Next, making your lyrics dynamic also helps things. And all the things I do, even my simple TikToks, my lyrics don't just appear on the screen. Like maybe they appear like a typewriter. Maybe they like bounce into the frame. Maybe the lyrics just show like fade into the frame. Even a simple fade and a fade out will make it so much more interesting, okay? Effects, if you put like an effect where there's light shining into the room, if you put an effect where it's like film grain, so it looks like an old MV, like depends, like how are you going to tell your story? Are you going to put like a frame around it to make it more interesting? Visuals keep listeners attentive. Yes. Make the visuals important. Make the visuals as appealing as what they're listening to. Yes. Next, fonts. The fonts of your lyrics, if you're doing a lyric video, is so important. Make sure that the font suits the content you are putting out, okay? I unfortunately don't have too many fonts, but I know how to decorate the fonts enough to make it look like more interesting. And I'll show you examples of that with like how I did like Idol and stuff. Idol is like one I'm very proud of editing. And Night Dancer too. Hello, hello, welcome Raiders. I'm RVT, a singer from another world. We're discussing about how to make covers today. Pro tip, if you do the original and try to match lyrics to the original video, be prepared to be fine-tuning for a while. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a lot of work. How was Apex, Al? I hope it was good. Raiders, if you want tips on how to make some music videos, music covers, you're in the right place. Sorry to interrupt, you're so okay. We're gonna keep going, Al, but thank you so much for the raid again. Raiders are feeling tired of EP, don't feel obligated to stick around, but if you do want to stick around and get some good little itty tidbits for how to make your own music more interesting to hear or watch, then stick around. Thank you, Al. Cries and Love Song English cover being taken down. Yeah, make sure that you don't copy originals. Like, try not to do that, because they will take it down, and it sucks. Hello, Raiders. Thank you for welcoming Raiders, everybody. Let's move forward. Okay, we gotta analyze this stuff now. Hi, Sui. Don't redeem Korean. No, I'm not gonna speak in Korean. If you redeem it, I'm gonna have my mods refund you, because we are doing a seminar today and I can't have only my Korean friends understand what I'm saying. Sorry, not today. You do it later though. Okay, so chat, I'm gonna show you some MVs and I'm gonna break down not only the visuals but also the audios and like my singing choices, okay? Oops, not the Q&A yet. So let's pick a MV to analyze. I think a good one to analyze, let's do one that I edited myself. Let's do Night Dancer. Okay. Actually, let's do this in theater mode. Okay, so Night Dancer. I commissioned an artist for this art a while ago, and it was like 30, 40-ish bucks, I believe. So it was on Skeb. I don't remember the exact price, but it wasn't too bad for the quality of art that I got. But I used the same art throughout this whole MV, and it did pretty well. So let's start. Okay, pause. Notice that in the beginning for the MV, I had a transition. A cool transition where it looks like it's painted to go to the next one. Even the way the very first opening sequence is gonna catch your audience's attention, okay? And what happened in this video that I made it more interesting was that transition. Also, the lyrics, the font is simple, but what makes it cool is it has a little tape in the background, right? This one's a banger, thank you. It has a little tape in the background. And that's what makes it cool, right? Now I typically don't really do softer songs for like my more advanced covers, but this time I decided to do something more soft. And so because I'm singing a softer song that's basically about just like chilling, it's nighttime, and we're just living life, that's basically what the song is about. Since it's that kind of song, I decided to sing in a more like airy, kind of cursive-y feeling. Now the words here, for all my singers out there, for the singing tips. Another thing that will help you with your singing to make it more interesting is messing with the vowels. I think that's one thing I forgot to put in the PowerPoint. When I'm speaking Japanese, it'll just sound like do demo ii yo na yoru dakedo, right? That's just normal. But when I was singing it, do demo ii yo na yoru dakedo, the way I sing like do, I'm not just going do, I'm going like do. It kind of sounds like a oh. But like messing with your vowels kind of makes things a little more interesting. And now the reason I made this choice also is because I listen to a lot of Japanese music, and I noticed that like a lot of the singers in Japan like to mess with their vowels. For example, the te. They don't just sing te, especially the rock singers. They go like te, like what's the doshita te, doshita te, kesenai yume mo, like te, te. It's like a sound, not just a te. So messing with your vowels, how you pronounce things, not to the point where it's not understandable at all, but like just little things like that will make it sound more interesting, right? Also, I went in my higher, and I intentionally let my voice crack to make the phrasing sound more interesting. Wow, Areia, you were thinking about all this while you're recording? Yes. It's these little choices that make all the difference. Every single syllable and word and consonant that you sing needs to be intentional, all right? So let's keep going. The voice crack. Even the kimi mo, I decided to go softer. Kimi mo to like bring you in, because I didn't want it to be like kimi mo, but nothing wrong with that. But I thought the airiness would make it more like more interesting to hear. Now at the MV portion, I had the lyrics. I'm having everything be dynamic. I separated the layers. I have the background moving and then myself moving in. Different vowels are harder or easier to power. No, exactly. Hi, Wally! How are you? Okay, I changed the transition again, this time to make it different. I just changed the framing of everything. I made it where this frame is a little bit smaller because everything's big. And then a light transition to make everything like focused. Keyboard spam butchered your name. You're so okay. Areia! Notice how everything's still moving, chat. It's a lot more interesting to watch. The cast. I'm Areia again. I changed the angle from where the picture was moving from like down from the feet all the going up. Everything, just like if you just have like one art and you don't have a lot, you can still make it interesting. Just zooming in one place, having a drag into different section makes all the difference. Everything is perspective. It's the same art here. I just zoomed into the sky. And then I changed the lyric format where it was horizontal, but now it's vertical. And I have it coming in with a different animation. Areia! Yes, Wally! And now, look, it's the same art! It's the same art, chat. I just zoomed in a different part of the art. That's like a thing that I like to do a lot. What did I just do? Oh, okay, I messed with the volume. Okay. Doing a simplicity is nice at times, right? Because what the simplicity does, I'm nerding out on y'all, is that it makes everything plain, right? And then when the next scene comes, you gotta make it super fancy because something like, bam, it's fancy. Look, it's all fancy now. And that simplicity gives a bigger contrast to make you more excited for the more fancy part, right? Contrast is a magical tool that is awesome. Contrast brings so much more vibrancy to things, all right? Also, hi, miss ya. Yeah, me too, Wally. We gotta play Among Us Sussy again soon. We gotta. I have a different animation for lyrics. I'm changing things up. I'm trying to make it interesting. Also, you're gonna hear that I changed the mixing a bit. I have a filter on my voice. It's like a radio filter. Doing subtle touches like that in your audio. Sensible, like, things. I believe they did something like that in the actual original song, too. You're learning so much and you've been here for 3 minutes. Yay, Wally, I'm glad you did. Notice, it's still moving. I have like an effect, I have like a little sparkly effect on top of the art to make it look like there's like fireflies or something, or like light dancing in the background to make it so that there's always something for your viewer to watch, all right? To be enchanted by. And I want them to be enchanted by the beautiful art that the artist did, right? You love running vocals through weird distortions and stuff. Yeah, if it's like for like one like instance in a song, it's so good. I remember there was a conversation I had with Daz where I was asking about EQ. Okay. Here. Okay. Okay, I did something clever with the words. So, shiroi in Japanese means white. So I put the lyrics in white here and then the lyrics here in black. So it has a cool contrast. And I put like a monochrome filter. And I put like a little MP3 looking thing at the top left. It's still the same art. I just put different effects on it to make it interesting. And the reason I had this inspiration was just because I was understanding what the words of the song were. And also since the song changes in mood completely, I wanted the visuals to change completely too. You don't remember this conversation, Daz? It's okay. It's been years. It was like during the time when I think it was the Genshin collab, the song collab. The wind tells you. Changing the mood. I put film grain as well. If you see the little grain. That's so smart. Thank you. I put like a little video glitch too. And then since okay, this transition here. Notice how I glitched out the lyrics as well, and then I did a transition where it looks like it's blinking, and then I changed the scene completely so it's not monochrome anymore, so that it gets like a cool like woo, like a woo. And I made the background of the art spin because it sounds like the music goes like a drop. So I wanted, it kind of sounds like you're dizzy. So I wanted, like, you know when you're dizzy and everything spins? I wanted to give that effect. Oh, I'm nerding out on you guys. That's corrective EQ. Ah. Okay. Similar thing to something we saw before, except I slapped on a frame, a dynamic frame where it looks like it's in the video. All this is available in Filmora, by the way. If you want to support Filmora, it's like $15 a month kind of thing, but it's a good investment, I think, if you're into this. Reminds me of the Godsey Zombie from EGN, where the same art in the same spot, but just cracked down. Yeah, it's a similar concept. Notice that the font in the song is basically all the same, but what I just made it interesting was like having it with like black lines in the background or something. And then I bring back the chorus format that was here before. Intentional voice cracking. DaVinci Resolve is the video editor I use. Oh, it's a free option. Nice. If you have recommendations, go ahead and drop it. Thank you for head pats. Just changing the perspective of where you're looking from the same art makes so much of a difference. Bring back simplicity. And then I added a thing where it's like different font, but it still fits the mood in like a black frame. And this time the text is white. And back to the fancy stuff again. The simplicity contrast is back. Good tool to use. When the song is in a simple part, I added a heart because I felt like being cute. I wanted to keep the tape thing because it was like a theme throughout the whole song in the background. So that was Night Dancer's MV. Now, Idol was very different. CapCut for PC has a lot of effects and free if you want to check it out. Yes! Chat, if you don't know any video programming programs, you know, don't know what to use, please check out all the things that chat is recommending. There's a lot of free resources out there for you to use. Okay, I edited this one myself too. Okay, the only thing is that this was for my anniversary stream, I believe. So I happen to have a collection of various types of art of my own VTuber. So this might not be viable for everyone, but if you still want like inspiration for like your things, go for it. And look, this one, I started off with something simple because even though the song starts off strong, I wanted to give a variety in this. But for this song, I'm gonna do less of an MV analysis and more of the audio analysis. Now, Idol is from the Oshi no Ko anime, if you don't know, but you probably do. The idol concept in Japan, a lot of idols in Japan, especially the girls, are more the cutesy kind, right? Is that a docu of Lily? it's the free to use model that Zena was using before. But shh, don't worry about it. It's also great using the video simplicity in moments of songs and mixing simplicity. Yeah. Canva has good assets too. Nice, nice. Thank you, Ollie. Don't worry about Claude. Okay, anyway, back on topic. Since Idol is more of like a cutesy song, I sang in a more cutesy way. If you want to know how to sing cute, you just gotta sing more in your nose. Like you sound more like a kid. Anyway, moving forward. But the reason I wanted to embrace the cuteness for this song is because there's a very important part of this song that gets everyone. It's the hi, ko wa toku betsu desu. I wanted to show a big contrast. Contrast is my main thing that I use as a weapon. The contrast of the rapping part to the cutesy part. But it still fits because it's still my voice, you know? And I wanted to make it interesting for the listeners, all right? So here we go. I took that from the OG. Okay, here. I change everything. I use a different art. I'm making use of all the arts that I have. Maybe that's an option for you, okay? But just like the simple backgrounds that I use, like this one, I had like a dynamic background. But then suddenly, because I decided to use a simpler background because the art is so much more complex than the first one. So simple background to accentuate the beauty of the art. This one, I was inspired by Powerpuff Girls. The hexagon transition, thank you. That's all available on Filmora. That part's too. But I think musically it's important. Okay. For the, you know how the heart goes on the idol part? I'll share it later, but that's like different layers of effects. Okay, but here, a tip that if you have like a single art and you don't have too much to work with, a really good tip to make your video more interesting is having like a simple frame like this to frame your lyrics and just make the lyrics do a lot of the work. Okay, here, this is where the transition is. Thank you, Zach. Mood change. More filters on the voice. Okay, so in that part, if you notice, musically, I rapped it twice. But I had a high tone rap and a low tone rap. So I had a part where what are the lyrics again? I think I don't remember. Oh, hi, Yuto! Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome, Raiders! Oh my god, I didn't even hear the raid sound. Hi, everybody! Welcome, Raiders! Hello! Hello, there it is! Hello! Oh my god, welcome everyone! Thank you, new followers! Welcome to the Areia Army! We are doing an extensive music cover seminar right now, and I'm revealing all my secrets. KJMC, gaha! Thank you so much for the follow, welcome! And thank you for the hydrate. How was... What was... Just chatting! What were you guys doing? And Jupiter Seon, thank you so much for the follow. Favorite pro tip for rap sessions, whisper double. Yeah, that works as well. An ounce of purity after that stream is very welcome. Oh, what happened? And thank you for the subbies. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the stretch. I will hydrate right now. Excuse my water bottle. Vizuni, thank you so much for the follow. Dojin tag tier list. Oh no. Yabai. Yabai. That sounds crazy. How is that? 199 tags? That is insane. That does sound funny. Well, thank you. My water bottle do sound funny. Raiders, if you're feeling tired, don't feel obligated to stick around. But if you want to stay around for some information, what's the word? Regurgitating? No, information dumping about how to make music videos. I'm sharing my tips and secrets today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my god, Rin, how was Minecraft? Oh, you guys are playing different things. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh my god. Oh, are you guys playing Minecraft in the end? 楽しそう. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, VOD is gone? No! I can't take... Are there any good clips? I hope I can take a peek later. Very few people and things make you laugh. Okay, なるほど. You're in stream when you're in... Ah, なるほど. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Okay, I was like, oh my god, did I get raided? But it was a different thing. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, well, we're gonna keep going. But thank you so much for the raid again, raiders. I really appreciate it. Okay, so anyway, what was I talking about again? You're downloading VOD for... Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so in this part, there's contrast between the high tone rap and the low tone rap, okay? Nice twerking emo, I love it. Contrast is something I will emphasize a lot. It'll make your storytelling so much more interesting. And the reason I decided to do high tone and low tone rap is because it felt like in the lyrics, the girls are like, there's like multiple girls gossiping. So I wanted to make it sound like there's two different girls gossiping about the idol in this part of the song. Which is why I decided to use different parts of my range to emphasize that. So let's go ahead and keep playing it. Also, I had, to make it sound different, I had two different filters on each voice. So I had a radio filter on the high tone one, and then I had like a more distorted filter on the low tone to make it more gritty, I believe. And then I panned them. I panned it so that the high tone rap is more on the right side, I think, and then the low tone rap is more on the left side. So it sounds like two different people, like in the same room as you. 100% a jealousy gossip, yeah. And then it goes back to the QC. Sudden contrast again. Okay, this little animation is literally 3 different stickers. I found like a heart sticker, and then I found like a little light beam sticker, and then I put like the text idol on there. And that was like something I like crafted. Don't be afraid to use your artistic creativity. And I had to make the lyrics come in dynamically too to make it more interesting to watch. And then here, since the section of the music sort of changes, I decided to have the lyrics come in a different way. And we bring back this theme that was in the beginning. Bringing back old themes. We'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this part. When you're watching the MVs. Hi, Leroy! We're pogging. Okay, we are teaching about making music MVs today, Leroy. And like how to sing things. Okay, in this part, I wanted to be super diva. So the way I was rapping the like I wanted to sound sassy when I was doing it, but I still wanted to sound cutesy because it's an idol concept, right? So that's why I was singing in this particular style. Visually, I wanted to keep a similar theme because musically, it's still a very similar thing from the beginning that we saw, but they add more dynamics to it. They added an orchestra, right? So I decided to slap on this starry filter to emphasize the change, but it's still in the same musical theme. That makes sense. bring back another theme, but it's a little different from how we first saw it. It was much more pink and colorful. Now it's sad because the lyrics are a little bit sad. And then we bring simplicity. Black background, shiny lyrics, and then bam! We bring back that theme of the chorus. Also, in the background, I have like these little particles in the background. It looks like there's like little sparkly particles in the background to make it dynamic. I don't know what love is. I've never had it yet. How many full illustrations do you typically work with for a 3 to 4 minute song? So, Jube, it depends. So this one was my anniversary one, so I had a bunch. But if you were here for the Night Dancer one, I only used one. I used one the whole time. But what made it interesting, if you go back in the VOD later, hi Witchy! If you go back in the VOD later, you're gonna notice how all I did was just zoom into different parts of the art. Alright? Let me go back to this one. Like, in the beginning, also thank you for the follow, welcome! I zoom into this part, but then like in this section, I zoom into this part, the art. In this part, I'm zooming into here. And then like, where's that dark section? Here. I'm zooming near the feet, but like I put like a monochrome color here. So don't be afraid, if you're on a budget or something and you just want to use one art, make use of everything. There's even parts where it's not even on me. It's like just on the sky. Like here. It's just on the sky of the art that I was using. Things like that. For free? Areia for free? Hi, listener. I hope you're well. But yeah. So be creative. Everything, it's just like, to make things more interesting, it's just perspective. You can slap different filters on. You can put particle effect. You can put like a little, like, I put like an MP3 effect on what was that? This part. Made it look like it was playing a song. I was like letting it spin. Transitions too make everything. A blinking transition. Thank you for the detailed response. You're welcome to. Hi Sheba! Howdy, hope you're good. Manu! Howdy, hosty. I hope you're well. Thank you. If you rotate it, she'll fall off. Don't worry. She don't fall off. And now I'm just like zooming in onto building in this part. Things like that. You just woke up. Good morning. Just probably ask your artist to draw your model on a different layer. Yeah. So what happened was that the great thing about Skeb is that oftentimes the artist will send you the PSD file too. So I just exported each layer individually. And so I had because like you're going to notice like in some parts, where is it? Like here, the background is moving in one direction, but then my body is like moving in another direction, right? It's because I separated the layers. Things like that. Yeah, and like asking your artist, like, hey, could you send me the PSD file? I'm sure they wouldn't mind sending that to you. Don't be afraid to ask that. I keep forgetting that you two know each other. Yeah, I don't think we've been in a VC together though. Rip bad break one more, no. But yeah, so that was analysis for Idol. Okay, now we're gonna do a vocal analysis now because there's a song that I did. Where is it? Okay, this one. Okay. Chat, I didn't know shiz about rapping before I did this song, okay? I was just like, I barely got like interested. So I did a bunch of research. It's the Takayan cover. I had to stop and record in sections so much for this song. It went brrr. My brain went brrr during this. But what I will explain some of the techniques. I'm going to be pausing a lot, okay? My friend Mango edited this video. She did a great job. You're the one that introduced you to each other. That's true. You did. My friend mixed this for me too. One art the whole time. Rap is so fun, yeah. I learned. Okay, I'm gonna pause there. You're gonna notice that in the freaking rap sections, there was so much going on vocally, okay? Oh my god. The Uaki kabare shinitai. I went, ooh, I did like a little growl. Uaki kabare shinitai. But then there's also some parts where I was suddenly like, like I went really airy. You know, the distortions, thank you. Thank you, Juve, I appreciate it. Thank you. But like the choices I made, there were so many different choices in like one section just now. So let's break that down. I went, Uaki kabare shinitai, because it's the first sentence. I gotta make it interesting. And like you're rapping, this song is rapping about cheating a badge. Don't do it. I freaking talk about like slicing off penises in the song, I believe. Yeah. It's been a while. I forgot the exact wordings and stuff. But this is just, what story am I telling? I'm angry about the cheating. Like, oh my god, I'm angry. So of course I'm gonna growl when I'm telling a story, right? But I'm a girl too. So I'm angry, but I wanted to be feminine at the same time. In a way, like, and I want to show off my charms as a girl. Like, it was like, I need to show off my charms because, like, how dare you? Like, my mindset was like, how dare you cheat on, like, a woman? Like I'm such a good woman. How could you cheat on me? kind of like attitude. It was like, oh, like that kind of attitude when I was rapping. And so all that manifested into these different choices that I was making. Angry Psycho X, who's just kind of justified. Yeah. Cool. And this rap, it's rapping basically the whole time. It's like kind of like rap singing, especially in the beginning. The Waki kabare shinitai. There's still pitches. It goes from like a rapping, speaking-ish to singing, like singing-y. And that part, I quieted down all of a sudden. It gives a cool contrast. I even quieter. And I suddenly went loud. Like that contrast of like going like, don't be afraid to like do gradual dynamic changes. Well, I started going softer in one section, really soft, and it's suddenly bam at the end. Reminds me of Usewa. Yeah, it's kind of a ado kind of feel. I think rapping helps in this case since it would be emotions flowing out. Oh yeah, she has a lot of words she wants to tell. And you're not. Yes, exactly. Oh my god. Okay, I was struggling. Okay, I was struggling so much with the rhythm for the song because there's just, I don't know Japanese that well, right? So what I did was that I went to, this is a handy tip for y'all trying to learn songs. You see this handy dandy little settings wheel? Set the speed to like 0.5 or 0.7, and then you could break down the rhythms. So suddenly instead of being like, Genin toka jizu ni tekurereba naosu no ni, it'll be like, Genin toka jizu ni tekurereba naosu no ni. And that helps you break down the rhythms that you couldn't get at the full speed. So note that. That is a tip if you're learning something fast. Usuwa is no easy feat though. Oh yeah, that song is crazy. Taken also has that fun habit of not pronouncing half his syllables. Yeah! So I had to like, I'm looking at the lyrics that are translated and I'm like, he's not saying some of these things. So I had to like type out lyrics and like in the way he pronounced them so that I could apply it in my own rapping. Oh my god, it was crazy. But yeah, don't be afraid to slow down the videos that you're watching to learn. I'm recording this in sections and all that. Okay, so in these rapping sections, what makes it a lot more interesting to hear, like rapping, from what I researched, because I'm not a rap expert or anything, but what I found was the more interesting raps to listen to, or the ones that had really made it evident when you're accenting something. So the, what are the words again? There's certain parts of the phrases that I'm accenting more than the others, so it sounds like my voice is kind of like a drum in like a weird way. That was one tip I learned from like a vocal coach a long time. Yeah, the ba 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 ba. Hi Zana, hope you're doing well. Even like even when I'm accenting it, I'm not just going like I do like like I do something interesting to the accents to make it interesting to hear too. Don't overdo it, of course, but like if it sounds good, do it, you know? But being percussive with your voice is such a good tip. It makes things sound so much more interesting because you're naturally doing that dynamic thing we were talking about earlier. You're messing with the dynamics. Sounds so cool. And hi, thank you, Xana. Thank you. Oh my god. He says yuteta jane ka? But in the actual song he goes like ka. So I was like, I would do that too. Ka. Why does he pronounce his words like that? But it sounded cool, so I did it too. Don't be afraid to copy some of the things the OG artist did. But I know I did, like, if you hear the original song, I did some things really different than he did, but there's a lot of things I did similar to. More soft here. Have harmonized. Okay, so in this part of the song, you're asking a lot of questions, and so it's like I wanted to make the nani part like the what? Like what? What? Like I wanted to sound really angry, so I emphasized the I wanted to make the nani part really aggressive. Like what the fuck? I'm angry. So making choices where you accent certain words that are important in the phrases is also good too. Nani the fuck? Exactly. And this part, I wanted to make like I'm verbally frustrated. I wanted to be like, I wanted to show I was frustrated, but in a musical way. So I did it in the rhythm. I'm pretty sure Takayan doesn't in the OG song, but I wanted to sound as exasperated as possible. Yeah. Also, another thing I did, intentional voice cracks, some like make things sound so cool at times. Don't overdo it. You don't want to be yodeling. But like it was like the occasional voice crack. You could hear when I'm going from like high to like low all of a sudden. Like the occasional voice crack can be a cool decoration if you know how to do it with your voice. But don't be like, ah. Yeah. It went from shiro. I did from a high contrast to a low contrast. Shiro. And when I'm going low, I like a little growl and a grit. Aria yodel cover one, please. Favorite example to bring up Fujikaze and Golden Hour on Sky. Oh yeah. Fujikaze is great stuff. Okay, this is what I did a little different from Takayan. So I know he does the rap part different, but I wanted to like kind of sing into some of these, and I wanted to sound like I'm crazy. You know, like when like an anime character is like super cute and yandere, but they're like, I'm gonna kill you if you ever go meet that man again. Like I wanted to give that kind of vibe, and it's kind of boy voice, I guess. It was like, I'm gonna kill you. Like I'm my last string is snapped. Like I wanted to give that kind of feeling. I would never meet that man again, seriously. And so I wanted to give that contrast. Kept going back to that. I wanted to make like a theme of like, I'm going crazy, and like that note, that me going like the it's kind of symbolized me like snapping in the song. You succeeded for real, thank you. Also, my friend did a cool little mixing thing. Back to low rapping. And it goes back to the name. Notice I harmonize and like, also with harmony, you don't have to harmonize the whole time. Notice how like I only harmonize in certain sections of the chorus. Parts. Usually like I like to harmonize on the important parts. And like harmonizing the whole time is like great sometimes, but like when you're doing like sparsely and then suddenly do harmonizing like the rest of it, I think it gives like, it tells like another like story, makes it more interesting to hear, you know? Thank you, Senna. Yeah, I just harmonize with the show part at the end. Yeah, so if you want to know how to do things like, okay, we talked about rapping, how I make my rapping more interesting. What's another thing I talk about? I did like, if you want to know how to do a cappella, what I did for this is more for the music people that know how to play instrument. I literally looked up the chords for the song, and then I sang each note individually for the chords in the background. So when's your panel aqua gonna be? I don't think that's gonna happen, man. That'd be crazy. But what I did was I looked up the chords, I sang each of the notes, and listened to the original song. I harmonize with the melody in certain parts. I'm insane, thank you. Hear how I'm singing some individual notes? Ooh. Oh, another tip. If you're vocal tuning and you have some harmonies in the background, I like to make the vibrato 0. I like to take out all the vibrato, because vibrato, it's kind of like, if I was to draw, this is what vibrato looks like, right? This is the symbolism of your, wait, I'm gonna use mini Areia as a sound form. So this is a sound wave, okay, mini Areia. This is what happens when your voice goes vibrato. Ah, it's like that. But if you flatten it out, ah, it becomes just a singular line. Now, if you analyze a vibrato, you're gonna notice, your pitch is it's centered around this line, but your pitch is still kind of going up and down everywhere. So if your vibrato is, if you have two different melodies, so say high harmonies here, and low harmonies here, your pitch is fluctuating at different rates, and so it's like, it sounds kind of distorted and clashing. But if you have like the and it's just straight, it sounds so much cleaner. So flattening out your vibrato makes everything work so much better. Your main melody can have some vibrato at times because it sounds more interesting, but the harmonies aren't as prevalent and important as the melody. It sounds so much cleaner that way. So that's a tip for all you mixers with vocal stuff, all right? What are you using to tune? Time? I use flex pitch that comes with Logic Pro X. Yeah. I know you have something similar, you though, but I forgot what yours is called. You told me on time. Thank you for posture check and hydrate. We gotta work on fan chants, please. Oh, for this cover, the original singer went for more of like, it's like a mix of European accents, but I can't really do many European accents except French. And I know like hers had more like, it sounded like she had like hints of like German and Russian in her singing, but I could barely do that. So I just did like a French accent for the singing. I pronounced it like I was singing in French. Daily vibrato flattening. I sing very airy throughout all this. I'm singing, ooh, like the chords down here. But also, I'm harmonizing with the melody. Excuse me, the burp. The I did like a and a I did a high and lower harmony for this. Stop making me throw up. I'm sorry. But I abused the hell out of harmonies here, and I panned the harmonies. So I put the higher harmonies in like one ear, and then the lower harmonies in the other ear. Same thing with even the chords to make it sound like it was a choir. Things like that. I put a hell of a lot of reverb to make it sound like I was in a chapel, too. Yeah. So if you ever want to do a cappella cover and you have like some musical knowledge of like chords and stuff, just look up the chords. If you want to be like me, look up the chords and then you can sing each individual note and do something like this. This took me like 2 or 3 hours to put together, I think. So it wasn't that bad. Reverb, tell, reverb, trust. Yeah. Okay, now we look at a Schust cover really quick. We could look at we'll just look at the recent one I did. Okay, super simple, but still fun to watch because I think the camera shake adds a lot. Notice I go Michingoka. I just went like airy on the me. That makes it more like ooh, still a little something there. But in the visuals wise, Schust, diffusion, camera shake, blurred background, and then the lyrics. I had a cool one from Filmora where it looks like lights. This is like my go-to format when I want to record something quick. Wah. I messed up there. I still uploaded it. For the algorithm noise, whatever. Okay, but even in covers like this, messing with different like random decorations to put in your phrases makes it so much more interesting and nice to hear. Like, ooh, she did like something to the singing there. Like whenever I went like na 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 na, I always went like Areia to give more of a lighter feel that went well with the song and stuff like that. Versus like what's a I did racing tonight. I was pretty belty in this one. I think what's frustrating about these ones though is because I'm playing the ukulele while singing, so I have to do these in one take. These ones take me so long. This song was challenging because I had to, the phrases go after another and after another. So a good tip for singing. A good tip for singing is that you don't always have to take a breath like before you sing the next phrase, like the like taking a quick gulp of air before your next phrase. It's plenty enough. As long as you get some air in there, it'll help support your singing and you won't hurt yourself. Yeah, but it's like, you do gotta breathe, but taking a quick little, learning to take quick little breaths before next phrases might be helpful if you do like a live thing like this. Okay. Chat, I think those are most of the MVs I can show you, unless you guys have a request to watch any of the other MVs. But we can enter the Q&A session time right now. Do any of you happen to have any questions? While we are here. Wait, let me see if I had anything else. Okay, nope, just Q&A. Any questions regarding covers, singing, audio, MV making? I shall take them now. In the meantime, I will embarrass myself and just have these in the background while I answer your questions. Oh, we should play while Yuto's here. Yuto and I worked on this together. What kind of mic would you recommend for a beginner? Okay, it depends what your budget is. What is your budget, Jube? My mic that I use is a Rode NT1A condenser microphone. It was around $200-ish. You're so poor. Okay, if you're just starting, I know everyone's go-to in the beginning is like a Yeti Snowball, I think. Or Snowball or a Yeti, I think. A lot of people start on that. And it works just fine as long as you're in a good space. Sing in your closet or something, or have a towel for it or a pillow for it. Rode mics are nice. Yeah, they're really nice. By the way, chat, please check out Yuto. This blank space is Yuto. He has great music and great remixes. Snowballs is the cheap one. Yeti is expensive. Gotcha. So snowballs are what a lot of people start off on. I would avoid both like the plague. Just joking. Okay, gotcha. A lot of people start on those and they do just fine. I remember I took a VO class and one of my coaches was like, oh yeah, I used to sing on like a freaking, not sing, I used to just like record my voiceover stuff on snowballs all the time and people didn't know. My friend gifted me a blue snowball ice and it often rolls off the table. No! Make sure you get something to hold it still. Uh-oh, yeah, bye. Maybe you have to invest in like making a little mic mount for yourself. Let's see. I think more than mic, since you have a snowball already, it's like the space you're singing in that's more important. Because you got the best mic in the world, but if your space isn't treated, it's gonna sound like shiz. Yeah, you don't want echoey sounding place. There's better mics in the price range now, but we use what we got. The most important thing is indeed space right now, but also mic positioning. Mic positioning is so important if you're the way you're controlling your gain, all that stuff. So more than the mic, it's the space you're recording in and the way you are recording. Yes, yes, yes. Agreed. Oh my god, this part is so good in Yuto's. I didn't know that at all. Yeah. How did you learn to sing? Expand on what you know. I know absolutely nothing but want to learn, especially without hurting myself because I strained my cords not that long ago. Okay, so if we go back to this part, I'm going to have access to the PowerPoint in the YouTube description later. But these are all wonderful vocal coaches I found on YouTube, amongst all the 10 million on there that had great tips that helped me grow as a singer. For me, what I found that I was struggling in was learning to sing in a spot that's healthy for me. Or how to sing healthily. And the greatest tips I would tell you to research, excuse me, I just burped, is to research, number one, take out your notebooks, support, your breath support, how you're breathing. It's like, you don't overthink it, but like a lot of people forget to breathe properly before they start singing like a good phrase. Number two, learning the different voices you sing with. So there's typically 3 areas of the voice you sing with. Your chest voice, which is your talking voice, is what you're using right now. If you put your hands on your chest area or like around your collarbone and you're talking like this, you're gonna feel a vibration on your chest. You also have your head voice you talk through, which is the Mickey Mouse voice up here, or your Paimon voice, and it's gonna come out more from like your head area. And then there's also the mixed voice area. And that's just a mix of your chest and head voice. And it's the place where a lot of people sing from to belt. Like the this is like more of my mix area. Learning to access that will also smooth the break of your passaggio, which is the break between this voice and this voice. Because you know when you talk from like here and you try going higher and higher and higher, and then there's like a roof and your voice just wants to crack. That break in your voice is called the passaggio. So learning to smooth that out. Another tip for singing that I researched a lot was vocal anatomy. Learn vocal anatomy. Learn what parts of your body are being utilized when you're singing. Like your soft palate, your vocal cords, your lower belly area where it has your diaphragm, your posture, your lungs, all that stuff. How can I make sure I don't hurt myself while singing? Wait, you want to hurt yourself or you don't? I'm assuming you don't want to hurt yourself. All those tips that I talked about. Typically, breath support is going to help you not hurt yourself the most. Oh, okay, I get the side eye. Bombastic side eye. Sounds insane recording in Samsung Meteor 2 and just like, no. Whoa. But Wally, I would just look into all these resources I have here. They give like, they even have like YouTube shorts where they give like quick little tidbits you can like practice every day. They give you vocal exercises you can practice. Thank you, Terry. How do you posture check and stretch? Hi, wifey. Also, if you're a voice actor or actress, learning to expand your vocal technique with these vocal training coaches helped me expand the amount of characters that I could play. It's the reason I could play Paimon or Little Boy, because I know where to talk to, like, yeah. Or like a woman, I know where to talk to be like a woman. Or like a little anime girl like this. Like, just like, like learning to utilize different parts of your voices helps expand your character range too. You're welcome, Wally. So for covers, can I just like grab instrumentals off of YouTube and credit them in the description, like songs from the new Fiona and Cake show? I don't know if you went over that before I got here. So typically, if you take instrumentals, they'll usually just tell you, oh, there's a copyright thing here, but we won't. The people will let you use it, but you can't monetize it. But they'll let you use it, kind of thing. But if you want it to like monetize a cover, you're gonna have to commission an instrumental. From like I don't know, it's like someone on Fiverr or Twitter or something. The woman knows how to talk like a woman. Whoa, thank you, Dad. Gotcha. Yes. I mean, legally, probably not, depending on the source. Yeah, it's hard to do legally. But if you hire someone to make an instrumental for you, there are sources out there, but they're a bit pricey usually because they're making a whole instrumental for you. Yeah. You can play piano. Oh, if you play piano while singing, then go for it. You can record the piano separately and then sing on top of the instrumental. But you have to pay for sheet music. I have friends that can like listen to songs and just write out the music. It's crazy. Yeah, I have to subscribe so I can stop singing this. Okay.
My money don't jiggle.
Thank you.
Folds. I like to see you wiggle. For sure. If you wanna dribble. You know,
Sorry, this song is so good. I sang this song for a friend in uni. For the Vocaloid community, it's typically more accepted as the artists tend to make the instrumental open for the express purpose of people doing covers. Yes. That's one of the funniest ways I've ever seen someone sub. Thank you. Oh my god. This song was a very emotional song, so it was very belty. Oh my god. Any other quick questions, chat? Any questions about MVs? Any questions about singing covers? And any... Oh, don't be afraid to reach out to people to hire to make MVs for you. I had a lot of my MVs be made by other people. Like this one, for instance. Gira. My Yanfu made the video for me. And then my friend Scone did the art. 'Cause I can't draw. Internet kind of dying, so my stream keeps buffering. Is the VOD for this going to be left up for chance? Yes, it's going to be. I'm going to upload on my YouTube for reference. Oh my god. chat. You know how like Ado has like a very unique way of singing and pronouncing her vowels, like the like I wanted to do something like that for this one too. Where would I look for people to make my MV for me when I start doing covers and such? Like, there are a lot of sources on Twitter. I use Yanfu Station for this one, but I will just say I like to make the MVs myself, because a lot of the times when you want like a good MV, the people probably already have people in line to make an MV for other people, so they take a little bit longer than you want. So that's why I made a lot of the MVs myself, to save time. It's more work, but you get out your content faster that way. So that's why making your own MV is better, and you save money. But I'll give it a watch when it's there. Gonna head out for the night, but hope the rest of the stream goes well. Good night, y'all. Thank you, Absol. Thank you for coming by. For this part, the way I belted the it's the mixed voice thing. You can commission art from Twitter or VGen. True, there's VGen now. That's right. VGen is good. Scab, all that. Yeah, there's people with more reasonable prices too. Oh, that's right. I forgot about VGen. Yay! Okay, I will be taking questions for 2 to 3 more minutes. I don't want the VOD to be too long for people that are listening on YouTube's. I'll be resting after all that cleaning. Oh yes, please, Joey. Please be resting. I know she was earlier. I did a lot of vocal fry in this. I said tail different. Tail. Have you taken MV commissions before for other people to make MVs? Like, nope, I've never taken commissions before. Bum, 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 bum. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I have the skills for that. There's definitely a lot other MV editors out there. Maybe I'll consider opening comms one day. Sometimes. You don't even need an MV. Yeah, true. You don't have to have an MV. It just be audio. I just do MV because it catches people's attention. You just said Areia is amazing at what she does for. Oh, thank you, though. Underscore, what did you miss? You missed everything. Taka. It's okay. The VOD's gonna be up. I'm gonna upload it to my YouTube, Taka. You can watch it later. I did a lot of analysis. Imagine opening comms and you open mixed comms. You do, Daz. I had to go to you for comms. Frick. Oh no, Taka. That's okay. I spilled all my secrets. I did an MV analysis. We discussed things with chat. Okay. Did you show things about the video editing, right? Yeah, I did. You came after we did the editing stuff. These are all the people you can... This is who I hired for my MV. Yanfu did a great job. He also made a vampire one. Vampire one was great to look at. You did a great job with this one. Shit me up at my friends at least one free mix. Ooh! You'll check? Okay, F school, big mood. Okay, but as much as I wanna I don't really feel like chilling myself. This is more for information things. If we don't have any more questions, chat, why don't we rate someone? You got lunch, then more school later. Rip! Rip, 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 rip. Rip, 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 rip. Nice short scream today, chat. We don't want to make the VOD too long for the YouTubers. But thanks for everyone who stuck around. If there's no other last minute questions, if you happen to have other questions for me and I'm done with stream, go ahead and type !Discord in chat. You can join my Discord and drop some questions in off-topic chat, and I would love to answer some of them for you guys. Thank you for Seminar Sensei. You're welcome, everybody. I hope that you guys got a lot out of it. I hope that your covers and all your music endeavors go well, and that this seminar helped a little bit. Let's see, who to read? Who to read? Thanks, Miss Aria. You're welcome, Miss Aria. Okay, let's see. Who is on? Yuzi's doing music. Let's read Yuzi. How long has she been streaming? 3 hours? I hope she keeps singing. That's perfect. Goofy cover, best cover. Yes, I loved your Goofy cover. When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please. Oh, baby, don't go. You're helpful. You're welcome. You're welcome. You'd be a great music teacher. I was a music teacher and then I quit. For elementary school students, but we don't talk about that. I need to send this to you. Yeah, you should. It's really funny. She's the music teacher, literally. That's why I did the seminar. Alright, chat. Bye-bye. Bye, people on YouTube. Bye, people on Twitch. Good night. Have fun at Uzi's. Whoosh.